Welcome everyone, Gemini here, and today we are continuing our Transformers evolution / look back through the ages. So last video we did the 2007 movie video game Dropkick, and in 2008 a new Transformers show aired, Transformers Animated, and it gave us some really unique takes on some characters, and my favorite take on a specific character. Today we are taking a look at Transformers Animated LONGARM. Yes, LONGARM, the Autobot Crane who was the head of Cybertron intelligence. Yes, I really like this figure. It doesn't, other than the main gimmick, which I will show you later as to not disrupt the bit. It doesn't do anything too special. I mean, here's the entire robot, but he was a pretty decent character in the show for the little bit he was, LONGARM was there. But yeah, before we really get started, I'm going to interrupt my bit really quickly to point out that I did do some light customizing, because he had a Decepticon emblem right here and you can still kind of see it. That doesn't really work for, the disguise, so I just painted that over. I painted this to, keep the, that, even though those are quite a lot duller, but still. Anyway, back to the bit. But yeah, so here's LONGARM. He is a Cybertronian crane. He does not roll. You don't have access to rolling wheels. But, that's fine. The crane can rotate, as well as angle up and angle down. The hook can articulate. Sadly, you don't get too much extension unless you push it in a little bit, but it doesn't stay, it'll just keep flopping out. But yeah, he's really cool. For comparison, here he is with Legacy Animated Bumblebee, his old pal, and, Bumblebee is admittedly one of the smaller deluxes, so, but still. Here he is with the animated Optimus Prime, a slightly customized version. And yeah, I think they look pretty good together. And just for a more general size comparison, because I'm sure every Transformers collector has a version of this mold, here we have him with Kingdom Red Alert. Because I'm sure everyone has either the Siege Sideswipe / Red Alert mold, this figure, or the Earthrise version of Sideswipe. Or the 50,000 recolors they did. But yeah. But yeah. So that's it for LONGARM's alt mode, but he does have a secret, another alternate form. And what you want to do is you want to come back here, straighten out these sections, angle these down, angle these up, come up to here, pull back on this tab right here, which flips out a tank turret. Fold out these sections, and then there you have his secret alternate form. Because, as I'm sure almost all of you know, LONGARM was actually the Decepticon spy, Shockwave. So yes, here's Shockwave's alternate form. And in this form, he does have access to rolling wheels, so he can actually roll without scratching up the paint. Articulation is still the same. Nothing really changes except you have these sections which can also articulate. But yeah, and just because size comparison, here he is with Bumblebee, Optimus, and Red Alert. But yeah, I absolutely love this version of Shockwave. Animated gave me some of my favorite versions of characters. Shockwave, Megatron, Bumblebee, Ratchet, Prowl, Lugnut, Blitzwing. The only animated character I didn't care for that much is sadly my favorite Transformer of all time, Soundwave. He is the only animated character I didn't care too much for. Which is kinda sad, but oh well. Anyway, so I think that's it for Shockwave's tank form. Let's get him into LONGARM's robot mode. So for LONGARM, you're going to want to return the turret back to this. You are going to want to come under here, fold the heels down, come in here, bring out the feet, you're going to want to bend his, straighten his leg, like this, don't glove. You're going to want to disconnect right here at the pelvis, and straighten that out, bring this all the way up, and the leg all the way down, so he can kick forward in LONGARM mode. And as you can see, he is mostly there. You're going to want to disconnect the arms and bring them up, so you can take these black sections and fold them in. You're then going to want to grab here at the shoulder and bring it down, bring it up at the second joint. You're going to want to take this piece right here, untab it and swing it forward. Swing the hand up, straighten the arm. Do the same thing on this side. Just like that. You're going to want to come back here, bring this cockpit section down, rotate the turret, and bring it down. And here you have Security Chief LONGARM in his robot mode. But yes, here is not Bone Crusher, sorry. LONGARM in robot mode. And leaving a comparison off the side so we can get a good look at him. That is a nice head sculpt. That is very much the LONGARM we saw in the show. He's got a nice silver Autobot emblem. Coming down to the crotch, he's got some nice blue. I did paint these. I did. Because I wanted that to match the show. So, I did. Coming down to the legs, you can see the treads. He's got some nice little feet right here. And yeah, spinning him to the back, it's basically just the top of the tank / crane. But yeah, articulation. The head doesn't do anything. That's partly in service of the gimmick. So the arms can do a full 360. They can move outward only about that far before they hit him in the head. You do have bicep rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The hand is on a ball joint. The legs they don't tab in right here, which I kind of wish they did, but they can go forward that far. He can practically kick himself back, removing the turret so you can get, a good view. He can nearly kick himself in the back of the head, which is, a good range of articulation. You do have below the knee rotation. Knee only bends about that far in this mode. The toes and the ankles, or the toes and the heels can flip in if you want, but that's not really too useful. And then you can bend his legs in like this if you want, but you know. You can take the turret. You see there's a 5mm peg right there, 5mm hole right there, and you can attach it to his arm if you want. I usually just leave it slapped onto his back in both Shockwave and long arm modes. But yeah, he's really cool. For comparison, here he is with Legacy Animated Bumblebee. You know, I think that's about the scale we saw in the show. I'm not 100% sure though. Here we have him with Kingdom Red Alert. You know, I'd say that's pretty good scale. You know, I don't think that's perfect, but I do think that is still a pretty good scale. And here he is with Legacy Animated Optimus. And I think these two look really good together. Yeah, I think they look good. But now that is not the only thing this figure can do, as of course he is the evil Decepticon Shockwave in reality. So let's get him transformed. You're going to want to unpeg the legs from the, you know, from here, like that. You're going to want to push them up. Take this thigh section and bring it up. It will thoop into place. Maybe. Why are you fighting me? Is it because the camera's on? It's because the camera's on. You're then going to want to take and rotate the legs below the knees. You are then going to want to grab your phone stand so the viewers at home can actually see this. You're going to want to shift his shoulders back up like they were in tank mode. You are going to want to flip these sections of the turret, or of the treads, around. Stand. You're going to want to rotate at the bicep like this. Rotate the hand so it's facing like this. Take these sections, bring them down, those are the claws. And extend the arm. Do the same thing on this side. You can leave the turret in the crane configuration, but I usually flip it out like that. And we are at the home stretch. You're going to want to flip around his insignia, like that, showing he is a Decepticon. And bring the head forward, then up. Then you're going to want to rotate the horns up, or the antennae, whatever they are. And as you could see, pulling the head up flips Longarm's face in, which is really cool. That is really cool. But yeah, here is animated Shockwave in Shockwave form. And he looks amazing. This is by far one of my favourite designs for Shockwave. I don't care that it's not purple. I mean, context-wise, you know, he is a spy, so it makes sense that he's not purple. But still, he looks amazing. His articulation is largely the same. Only you do have head movement. He can look up about that far. He can look down about that far. He can rotate his head on kind of a weird slanted axis, but still. And you can move his antennae however you want. The shoulders are the same. The arms are the same, with the exception of now you have these two individual claws. And yes, he still does have an elbow joint. The hips can kick forward only about that far before the thigh pad gets in the way. They can kick back, remove the turret, about that far. Outward, he can do more. That's about as far as it can go before the these pieces bump in the way. You do have 90 degrees of bend in the knee, and that same below the knee rotation. Other than that, his articulation is, very similar to Longarm. Oh, you also do have a dedicated one-click ab crunch, which technically is a part of the transformation, because Shockwave does have a more slumped over appearance in the show, but I just keep him standing up straight. But yeah, let's take a look at that face. That is a nice Shockwave face. Black and an eye, a single eye. A nice golden Decepticon symbol. Same details there. You have the top of the back tank treads now being the feet, as well as the legs, as well as 2 toes right there. You have the claws, which do have a hand in them, but you know, it's whatever. Yeah, and Shockwave can hold his turret using the same port. You know, if you have him standing, straight up with it pointing forward, he does tend to lose balance a little bit. So you do need to bend him back a little bit, but still, I still think he's really cool. Comparison, Bumblebee. Just so you can see how much taller he gets. Red Alert. And Optimus Prime. As you can see, he gets pretty tall in Shockwave form, which is definitely intentional, as the Decepticons in that show were a lot taller than the Autobots were. All of them, I think, except for Oil Slick, because he turned into a motorcycle, but still. Anyway guys, that wraps up my review of the Transformers animated Shockwave / Longarm Prime, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for more, and I will hopefully see you all in the next video. Goodbye!